Before Neo, there were 5 integral anomalies, humans who could do amazing things in the simulation, but were also used as receptacles for all the errors of the system. The Animatrix episode, World Record, is the story of an athlete who achieved something impossible. If we studied this story in depth, we could be looking at one of Neo's predecessors, another integral anomaly that escaped the simulation. Interested in knowing more? Then welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
This story begins with a female voice describing what makes it possible for a human to realize that they live inside a simulation.
Only the most exceptional people become aware of the Matrix. Those that learn it exists must possess a rare degree of intuition, sensitivity, and a questioning nature.
Then we have our first appearance of the agents of the Matrix, but these agents are different from the ones we've seen in the movies or the comics. This may be the first clue that we are seeing a different simulation, possibly one of the older versions before Neo's. The female voice then says that this man discovered what the Matrix was through different means.
However, very rarely, some gain this wisdom through wholly different means. This man is one of those few.
Very interesting. The voice basically confirms that there are alternative ways for blue pills to realize that they live in a false reality. Commonly, people who reach enlightenment is through self-reflection or an unavoidable event that leads them to question reality. Dan Davis, the protagonist of this story, was an athlete who felt that every time he ran, he felt free from the world. We could say that he begins to awaken because of his athletic abilities, though it could be due to something else. In one of the flashback scenes, Dan ends a race at 8 minutes 99 seconds. His world record was nullified because he tested positive for steroids. His ability to run fast is not normal. Not completely anyway. Pills play an important role in the Matrix universe. Some pills help you wake up, others keep you asleep inside the simulation. But remember that pills are programs, modified codes used to change a person's residual self-image, just like the Oracle's cookies, the Merovingian's cake, or Morpheus's red and blue pills. They all have similar functionalities. Steroids can do the same. We don't know who gave Dan these drugs, but if they were helping him to disconnect from the simulation, then maybe a red pill sold him the stuff. However, the opposite could also be true. As I mentioned before, this story could have taken place in a pre-Neo simulation, more specifically, the 4th. Dan could have been the 4th one or integral anomaly who was breaking the system on his own and was being tricked into using roids to stop him from breaking it further. He also wears the number 4 on his uniform. Coincidence? As the agents watch Dan from afar running at full speed, his muscles start to give out, but this doesn't stop him. In fact, we see that the more his muscles are torn, the faster he runs. The agents must stop him. As they say, they must not allow him to wake up.
He cannot wake up. Do not let him wake up.
Dan then starts seeing numbers floating in the air as he runs. These numbers do not look like the conventional Matrix code that Neo saw when he became the One. This is yet another clue that this simulation could be an earlier version, as it runs on a different programming language than Neo's version. Dan then wakes up in his pod. His pod is different from the ones we've seen in the movies and the comics. A caretaker machine, or Docbot, appears. Instead of releasing Dan, the machine looks into the pod and sees him. The machine then activates a secure mechanism to not let Dan escape. Dan managed to wake himself up from the Matrix. We only know of one other person who did this. Morpheus mentioned that before Kid, no one else has ever been able to wake themselves up from the Matrix. But here we see that Dan did. He managed to wake up without anyone's help. Morpheus not knowing about Dan and these odd-looking agents reinforced the theory that Dan's story did happen in another version of the simulation, the 4th version. The machines did not get rid of Dan. They wanted to keep him in the Matrix to study him. Dan's record before waking up was 8 minutes 72 seconds. A new world record. His speed wasn't human. The machines erased Dan's memories and put him back into the Matrix under surveillance. They also took away his ability to walk. One of the agents clearly says that he will never walk again.
He will never run again. He will never walk again, for that matter. We'll continue monitoring him for a while, but anticipate no problems.
But he was wrong. Dan starts to move. The agents try to stop him, but the athlete broke the bonds that were holding him down. Some nuts that he was holding in his hand fall to the floor as he repeats the word, free. His hair starts to stand up, and the nuts on the ground are moving. His legs begin to levitate, while in the background we see multiple crosses, symbolizing the cross of the Messiah. It looked like Dan was about to fly, but he fell to the ground exhausted. We are looking at a human who, after his brain was wiped and was turned into a paraplegic, still had the strength of will to get up from his chair. He manifested greater power than simply running fast. Dan has awoken from the Matrix and has managed to transcend the control of the machines. Being that the machines have great interest in keeping him trapped in the simulation made us think that they do want to study him. Maybe Dan was an anomaly, one of Neo's predecessors, or he was a unique anomaly that the machines never encountered before. What is clear is that Dan is one of the few humans who has ever been able to wake up from the Matrix on their own, a rare case of self-substantiation, and he achieved this by not researching or questioning reality, but by sheer will. In the Matrix, your physical appearance doesn't matter. The residual self-image is nothing more than code. Dan's will was so great that he not only broke the world record of fastest man alive, but also broke the simulation. But do you agree? Was Dan the fourth integral anomaly?
Do you feel not like yourself? Has depression led you to question reality? Do you have an extreme desire to jump off a building? You may be suffering from a strange neurological condition caused by an imbalance in the brain known as VDTs. Folly Bridge has the solution for you. Introducing Entalofloxacin, the world's first and only blue pill you will ever need to start your day right and simply forget all your troubles, literally. Ask your doctor about Entalofloxacin today and join the millions living in blissful ignorance.
For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.